What's going on, Leo? Welcome to your September 2020 Tarot and Astrology reading. My name is Tani Michelle if you are new here, and basically we are not all love like twin flames and unicorns over here, so please keep that in mind when watching this reading, and let's get into it. One of the craziest months of 2020, I will say that for everybody, not just Leos. It is a crazy time. We are in the halfway point of eclipse season, so things that happened around eclipse season during this summer, around June and July, we're kind of at that halfway turning point until we get to the next eclipse season at the end of this year. So major changes happening. Mars is going retrograde. It's just a lot. And Leo, we start off this September with a Pisces full moon, and this Pisces full moon can bring some shocks or some information that you weren't necessarily aware of. It could also be some kind of breakthrough for some of you, or even some kind of fears that come to the surface because of where it's happening at. This can be very psychological. This can also bring up issues with finances or money. So you do just want to pay attention to that, especially in the beginning of this month. So before we move on, I'm going to kind of intertwine the astrology and the tarot reading like I normally do. Let's go ahead and get to your oracle cards. So the first oracle card that we have is She Feels, She Knows. So this for me, Leo, is definitely, it's funny because she has like a peacock feather in her hair. This is definitely a huge theme I see in a lot of your cards in your reading, is that it's very important to trust your instincts this month, to trust your feelings, to get in touch with your feelings, to not avoid your feelings. We also have the card Inner Journey. So this month tells me that you are going inward, that anything that happens externally, that you need to go inward to find your own inner voice. Give yourself space and time away from other people occasionally to really hear what you think and what you have to say, what your inner voice is telling you. And we also have the card Divine Timing. So this is telling me that, you know, it's very important for you to get in touch with your intuition this month. We even have the card Intuitive Communication, Silent Whispers of the Heart. So what is your heart telling you? Not what your mind is telling you, not what you're afraid of, you know, not listening to your fears, but what is your actual heart telling you? What are your feelings saying to you? This is a very big month for that. You know, it's really asking you to get in touch with those feelings and to not act based off of fear or based off of your head, you know, to really get in touch with your feelings. So the next card that we have is Pandora's Gift. And what this is basically about is, you know, Pandora opened the box that unleashed, you know, all kinds of shit. But it's basically Pandora's gift is that she no longer had that curiosity that she craved before she opened the box that she knew she wasn't supposed to. So even though we can do things that end up feeling like regretful in some way, or end up feeling like we made a mistake in some way, or something along those lines, it doesn't necessarily mean that we have to only look at the chaos that came from it. It means that we can also look for whatever you know, situation or hard situation you're going through in your life this month or already. It's important to kind of look at it from a new perspective, which is interesting because for the first week of September we have the Hangman reversed, which is all about looking at things in a new way. So for your other oracle cards, we have Lost Love, Surrender, Healing, and Release. And then we have Loss, Grief, Sadness, and Resurrection. So Leo, this is a time where it really seems like you're coming back from the dead. But to do that, it looks like you are going to have to face a series of things that have closed off your heart to certain things that have just closed off your heart. You're going to have to face these things. And another thing that I'm really getting from these cards is that you may be feeling a little bit lost in some sense this month. You may be feeling like there's a level here of unknown things, like you can't see the future. You're not sure what the plan is or what the vision is. You may be feeling just a little bit lost, you know, and that's why it's important to listen to your feelings this month, to listen to your emotions, because your heart is going to guide you. So it's very, very important that you get in touch with those subtle feelings, those subtle emotions, your intuition to guide you this month. That's going to be a huge thing. Now, also with these oracle cards, some of you guys could be closed off because of grief, shame, remorse, a breakup, you know, something along those lines. So that's something else, but I really feel like, you know, whatever feelings that you're avoiding are going to get brought to light in order for you to face them, to move on. Whatever feelings are affecting your worth, are affecting your ability to possess the things that you want to possess or do the things that you want to do, are going to need to be faced. So moving on to your tarot cards. So like I said, your first card to start off the first week of September is the Hanged Man. And clarifying that is the Eight of Cups. So in your life, Leo, somewhere you could be repressing some emotions. What I'm also feeling here is that you guys have been waiting a while for something. Maybe you've been feeling like you've had to take a pause, or like you've had to wait on something, like you've had to wait to go after what you want, or you've had to wait to walk away from a situation. I also feel, sorry Leo, I'm not sure exactly what happened there, but I also feel like you guys are, what was I gonna say? I kind of feel like emotionally you guys have faced a lot in a certain area of your life, a certain situation, whether it's with a breakup, family. You know, there's something here that you feel like was lost. There's something here that you feel like you are losing in a way. And so with the Hanged Man, I feel like, you know, there's a certain feeling of that needs to be looked at, that needs to be surrendered to. You know, you may feel like the first week of September, like there's a certain sacrifice that needs to be made, or that you feel literally stuck in a situation that you don't want to be in. But like I said, it's more so focusing, like with Pandora's gift, it's more so seeing what the gift is in this and trusting in that divine timing, which I know it's hard. I'm not going to sit here and be like, you know, just trust in divine timing, it's all going to be good, you know, like I get it. It's not always that easy. It's not always like that, but I feel like you will see why things have had to work out the way they did. And if you can look for the gifts in the situation instead of the losses, and the gains in the situations instead of the losses, then I think that will help propel you forward. And if you can also feel any of the feelings that are coming up, if you can feel, you know, I also feel like there's some resentment here with some of you as well. There's some resentment here. There's a level of feeling like, you know, you were very vulnerable in a situation and it didn't pan out the way that you thought it would, or that you feel very vulnerable at the moment, and some of you guys could be fighting that. And if you're fighting it, and if that's bothering you, like if it's not getting you anywhere, then I would suggest to allow yourself to embrace these feelings instead of fighting them. So that's kind of what I'm getting so far. So moving on to your second week, we actually have the Strength card, your card. So the second week is where I kind of feel like you are possibly feeling a little bit better, but it is taking a lot of your own strength, your own courage to pull through something. You are having to allow yourself to push through, even if it's hard, even if you aren't very confident in what you're doing, in order to kind of find this balance, in order to kind of balance the scales, in order to level something out, to keep something mediated, to keep the peace in a certain situation. You know, for some of you, I feel like this involves your integrity. This involves allowing yourself to kind of stand in your integrity instead of going against it. So I do want to get a clarifying card for this second week. I just feel like I should for some reason. So let's see what the Strength and Justice card are all about here for the second week for my Leo fam. Okay, so we have the Three of Pentacles. So this could be some kind of contract agreement. This could also be a situation where you have to work with somebody. and it requires some kind of integrity, or it requires some kind of strength. It requires some kind of confidence, for you to, it requires some kind of peacemaking, okay, is kind of what I get here. So that's interesting. That's kind of what I'm getting for your second week. And also, the second week is when Mars goes retrograde. So, you are kind of having to, in a way, possibly, work with people, collaborate with people in some way, or just somehow work with somebody else to achieve a higher goal in some way. So moving on to the third week, Leo, we have the Nine of Wands representing your third week. So once again, I'm seeing a little bit of, feeling a little bit defensive, or, feeling like, this can also be determination, but, I kind of feel like maybe you're a little bit resentful, something that happens the second week of September, I would say, kind of builds up into the third week where you feel a little bit resentful, or you feel like a little bit like something maybe wasn't fair in some way, like it was like you doing all the work, or it was you putting in all the effort. And then we also have the Five of Swords, clarifying that. So I also want to get a clarifying card for this third week for my Leos, so we can see what is going on here. I do feel like this is some kind of resentment. I feel like for some of you, it may feel like you are left to pick up the pieces in some way, like you are having to do things on your own, or that, something just, I feel like something brings out this culmination point where you feel like something was unfair, like you gave it your all, or you were, like you stood in your truth and your integrity, or something along those lines, but it ended up being unfair. And so you end up being a little defensive. You end up being like, no, like I put in all this effort, and this isn't how it should have worked out because I gave it my all. But with the Hermit here, I feel like being mad about it, I can understand that, and it's not that you shouldn't let yourself be mad about it, but I also feel like, you need to allow yourself to go within, once again, an inner journey. Try to bring it back to yourself. Try to see what this is pulling out of you, what this is reflecting back in you, what kind of anger you may need to deal with, or what kind of fear that you may need to deal with that's causing this anger or causing this issue. And being able to kind of take this inner journey to find your own truth, to look at the situation as like, if for some reason you feel like you're on your own in a certain situation, to take that insight and to go within, to basically find your own truth, to basically allow yourself to look at the freedom that you're gaining from the situation, or the gift or the gains that you're gaining from the situation once again, instead of what you lost. So moving on to your fourth week, we have the devil representing your fourth week. So the end of September, I do feel like this is very much about facing your habits, getting a hold of your habits, and Mars is retrograding in a place for you, that is going to be squaring your house of Capricorn, the house that you have Capricorn in, which is all about your day-to-day habits, your routines, your health. And so with this Devil card, I really feel like, and the Six of Swords clarifying it, I really feel like, maybe you've been avoiding facing these habits, these cycles, these toxic patterns. Maybe you've been avoiding facing these certain fears, these certain addictions, whatever. And so with the Six of Swords here, I think that, it's going to allow you to face these things. You could also be helping somebody else that is in a toxic situation or that feels trapped in some way. And then we also have the Moon and the Page of Cups that came out right after these last two cards. So the Moon is definitely all about shadow work, our reflection, our instincts, our intuition. So once again, this is very much about trusting your feelings, your intuition. This is very much shadow work is what I see here, Leo. There's definitely some shadow work that's going to need to be done this month. There's going to be some inner reflection, a lot of inner reflection, a lot of trusting your emotions, your feelings, and really allowing yourself to possibly even get creative, allowing yourself to express and release any emotions that you're feeling instead of keeping them bottled up. So I do think to a certain extent, this is kind of bringing out some shadow work for you this month. In order for you to heal, though, in order for you to begin the healing process on some of these things that you've been keeping repressed or bottled up or haven't been wanting to look at or have been avoiding. Now, for some of you, I feel like this could also be facing the truth about something, a certain situation that maybe you didn't see before. It's definitely going to be allowing yourself to feel things, okay? And look, we even have the High Priestess and the Six of Cups. So paying attention to your intuition. I really feel like there's somebody, possibly in your life, Leo, that you feel is possibly not trustworthy, or that you've had some issues trusting. And so I think, this is very much so about going within, very much so about trusting your intuition. Very much so about getting in touch with your feelings. I do just want to clarify this Devil card and this Moon card really quick for my Leos. So there we go. We have the Lovers. So for some of you, this definitely could be a relationship. This could be a new path that you're going down where it seems very unknown, Yeah. So I think this is very much so about a relationship. It doesn't just have to be romantic. It could also be a decision. So for some of you, this could be a big decision where you have to let go of something. You know what I mean? Could be a relationship, like I said. There's definitely this decision being made where it's like, yeah, do I need to let go? Is it time to let go? Is it time to move on? You know what I mean? Have I put all the work in that I can? Is this, it's kind of very much so about letting go. So astrologically speaking, this month is also very much about your finances, Leo, organizing your finances, getting pretty serious about your finances. Maybe you're saving money, or maybe you're trying to come up with ways to save money. You're really focused on your finances and getting finances in order. Now, for some of you, you could also be doing something like purchasing a car, or doing something with your car. Maybe your car needs to be worked on, or maybe you're getting a new car or something like that. Some of you guys could be looking to move as well with Mercury in the sign of Libra, which is a place for you of your local environment, transportation, communication. You may be very busy in the month of September work-wise, or just with emails, communications, and things like that. You may be getting a lot of messages, just the stuff like that. Now, Venus is going to be in your sign, Leo, and I'm a Leo rising, so it's going to be in my first house. I can't wait. So you may be feeling a lot more, this is actually a really good thing, because Venus is going to give us that comfort, that confidence within ourselves, that being comfortable in our own skin type of feeling. You may have the, you may have like the motivation to change your look, or do something new to your hair, change your style, something along those lines. You may be feeling super stylish or creative, or wanting to redecorate, something like that. And Mars is going retrograde, like I said, in a spot for us that is all about the way that we view things, the way that we view life, our viewpoints, our outlooks. We're getting major reconstructions on the way that we view life, and the way that we view the world, and the way that we view our beliefs and our potential, and what we want to do with our life, what we feel our purpose is, where we find meaning, where we need to get out of our comfort zone. So these are going to be some major themes that you're going to see for the next several months, Leo. But it's going to be squaring all of that energy in Capricorn. So, this is really showing us where we hold our own selves back in terms of our day-to-day life, our habits, our schedules, our routines, our health, our work, where we hold our own selves back in those areas of life. that are affecting us reaching what we truly want or our true potential. You know, like, so say for instance, you really, really want to travel the world, but maybe you have a job that you have to attend to every day and they won't let you off. Or maybe, you know, you have a boss that's like super strict and won't let you take vacation time. You know, these are just examples. There's something holding us back, or something that feels stagnant in the workplace or in the daily life, the daily routines, how we take care of ourselves, our health, you know, how we eat, all of these different things, how we take care of our body. You know, our daily routines definitely need some major reconstruction, and they may start preventing us from reaching our true potential or going after things that we want to do. So these transits for the next several months are going to highlight those areas that need to be worked on in order for us to feel confident enough to move forward in something that we really want to do. So on the 12th, Jupiter finally goes direct, and this is in that same space of health and daily routine and work. And so, you know, we may start feeling a little bit more optimistic around that time about those things. And then on the 17th, we have the new moon in Virgo, which is happening in the sector of our finances, our worth, our values, our, you know, our talents, our possessions. And so this is going to show us where we may need to make some adjustments in order to reach our long-term goals, our big goals that we have, in order to feel a little bit more freedom. So I think that's what this new moon in Virgo is going to be about around the 17th. So moving on, at the very end of the month on the 29th, Saturn finally goes direct. So that stagnancy that we may have been feeling in the work department or in the daily life department or in the routine health department may start lifting, and we may start really buckling down and getting a little bit more disciplined than we were before. You know what I mean? We may be able to start finally making those changes that we've been needing to make. So that is basically what I am seeing for you this month, Leo. Definitely let me know down below if this reading resonated. Hopefully it did. If you would like to get a personal reading with me or see what other things that I offer, just check my description below. I am offering a sale right now for 20% off my readings with the code Virgo Season Sale, all lowercases, no spaces, on my website that you can find at the link below. So definitely check that out if you're interested. And also, it's a good time to sign up for Patreon as well, where I offer exclusive readings, horoscopes, astrology readings, rituals, all of that cool stuff. So if you're interested, check that out down below as well. And yeah, I will see you guys in my other videos, Leo. I hope you guys have a great month. I think it's going to be full of growth. I think it's definitely going to really show you where your confidence is and where you need to start believing in yourself more, you know, and I think that's exactly what we need. So I will see you guys in my other videos.